tuning in from to be here at this moment. So today's course is going to be very interesting and it's going to be short, okay? We're going to be learning how to create tables, not just manually creating tables. There is an automatic way of creating tables in Excel, which helps data analysis, and also how to do some conditional formatting. So right about now, we are going to kick off, and I'm turning off my camera so you can pay attention to the shared screen. Let's go. All right, so as you can see on the screen right now, we have this data here, including employer ID, last name, and all that. Now, the first thing you observe in this data is that the columns are not fully opened. Remember how I told you how to do that? Especially this place, you see hash, hash, hash. That means we need to expand it. You can expand manually by clicking and dragging, or you could just highlight from the top row. A moment, please. Okay, just highlight from the top row and then come to, after highlighting, just come to one of them and double click. Okay, you see that every column will be fully opened. Now we can see the data clearly. The first column is employer ID. We have last name, first name, department, email, phone number, phone extension, location, hiring date, and their pay rates. So now we want to carry out some form of analysis following some instruction that this client has provided on exactly what they want us to do. Okay, now the first thing we need to do when we have such data as this is to convert this into a table. Now, how do we do that? In Microsoft Excel, there are two methods of converting a data into a functional table. The first method is the easy one. Are you ready? So just put your mouse, click in any of the cells where the data is located, then you press your Control T. Yeah. Now, if you see when I press Control T, the entire data range is highlighted, and I just OK. Excel will automatically convert this data into a functional table. How do you know it's functional table? You can see that the top row now have something like filter buttons. Can you see? We have filter buttons now assigned to this. And with these filter buttons, you can be able to sort, you can be able to apply filter to the data. So this is no longer just data that has been entered, it has been converted to a table, what Excel understands and interprets as table. So that's the first step. Now I'm going to undo that. Now, what if you don't want to press Control T? You can just highlight the entire data range, of course. Then you come to your home button. On this ribbon here, you see format as table. The advantage of this one is if you click there, you're going to see many table options depending on what suits your preference. Okay, maybe I like this particular table, I just click. And can you see my table has heading? Yes, our table has heading where we have the description of each column. Then I will OK. Again, we have formatted this into a functional table. Now that this data has been converted to table, you can see we have our buttons here, which will now lead us to the next thing we can do in a table as this. We can apply things as sort and filter. Sort. First one is sort. I'm going to type in caps. Sort. Filter. Now, what is sort and filter used for? Now, in a given data in a table form, maybe you want to find out a particular order of arrangement, that is sorting, okay? Then you want to look at a specific category of item, that is your sort. That is your, of course, filter, okay? Now, for instance, if you look at these names, you find out that these names are not arranged in any particular order. What if I want to arrange them in, let's say, alphabetical order? All I have to do now is just click on this ribbon here for first name. As you can see, we have the sorts. Sort A to Z. I click there, and that's all. Can you see that now? The data has been rearranged from A to Z, okay? I can also come to departments. Let's say I want to sort it by department so that similar persons in the same department will stay together. I can also sort the department from A to Z. Okay, you can see AC. I think this is people in accounting, admin, and the rest of that. So for each particular sort you apply, the data will rearrange. And whatever is happening to that column is going to affect the entire data. Pay attention. As you can see now, top on the row is this 1078. Now, see what happened when I sort by last name. Can you see? It does not just change that column, it rearranges the data following that particular format that you have given it. Okay, so that is about sort. Now, we can apply multiple sorts. We can apply multiple sorts to a data. I think come to data here. Yes, if you click, remember we are at home. If you click on the data menu while you're in the data now, you can see sort, you can see filter. Now let's click on sort. All right. Now it's asking you, how do you want to sort here? Maybe the first sort I want to sort by, yes, you can sort by any of the categories. I want to sort by departments, yes. Okay. Now I can add an additional sort, add a second level of sort, and then sort by last name. So the data is going to be sorted first by departments, and then secondly by last name. I will okay. Now, as you can see, in departments, accounting is coming first. Then if you come to last name, you also see that it's arranged in alphabetical order, okay? So that is to say you can apply multiple sorts in a particular data. So depending on what you want to achieve, you can apply your sort. Don't worry, at the end of the class, it has to be given to you so you know exactly what you are looking for. All right. Now, having done that, now let's look at filter. What are filters used for? Let's say you want to look at a particular range. Let's say maybe hiring dates. I want to look at, if you look at the hiring dates, you still have different dates from up to 2001 or so. Let's say I want to look at all staff members who are hired between January 2001, maybe January 2000 and December 2006. I'll just come to hiring here. Okay. Can you see date filter? Once you come to date filter here, there are so many options of filter. Maybe you want to look at a particular date, before, after, between. I'm going to use between. So I want to look at all staff members between 1st of January 2000 up to, yes, 31st December 2006. So this is a filter, and okay. Wow. Nobody falls in that range. Okay, let me go again. Filter between. Okay, let me say from 2010, 1st January 2010 up to 1st of January 2013. Okay, now you can see this now. I've been able to filter out all members who were hired between 2010 and 2013. You can see there are about how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. These people now, they fall into this particular category of filter here, okay? Now, let's say I want to look at a different form of filter. I can just come here and clear that filter, okay? What if I want to look at, let's say, pay rates, those who are receiving amounts that is greater than, let's say, $30. I'll just come here to my ribbon, then go to filter number. As you can see, we have greater than or equal to. So let's say I want to filter out on those who are earning greater or equal to $30. You can see. Can you see their pay rates? Everybody in this category is earning above $30. Maybe they are the senior guys here. Okay. All right. So let me also undo that filter. So you can filter any whatever you're looking for. Let's say departments. Down here, you can see that they are all highlighted. What if I want to look at only people in accounting and advertising? I'll just unselect all, maybe select only accounting and admin. And okay, it just gives you only people in accounting and admin. So it depends on what form of analysis that you are looking at, okay? If you want to look at it department-wise, maybe payment-wise, that's will determine how you apply your filter. All right. So there's something else you can add to a data away from sort and filter, and it is called the total row. Now, what is total row used for? Sorry, total row. Americans call it total row. Yeah. So now total row is used to sum up the row that is for a given data set. And how do you see that? If you come back to design, yes, you can see total row. Now that one is found in design because it is especially applied to a formatted table. You cannot just apply this total row or to ordinary data. It must be data that is in a table. Now, after formatting data in a table, if you want to do any form of adjustment to that, you have to come from your design, okay? Now, from this list, you can see total row. Just click to activate it. It just comes at the bottom end. Can you see that? Now, it has been able to show us, because this is the only one that is really worth calculating, and it gives you a button. If you click, you see that you're going to have multiple options. Now, it's showing you the sum. That is the total, which we learned in our previous class how to compute. Now, this one is automatically computed, the total for this particular data. You can also look at the average, maybe average what? Pay rates, yes. Now, the average pay rate is 27.04, okay? Now, let's make this even more interesting. I want to add extra columns. Now, in case you need to add extra columns inside or outside, just click, highlight that column, right click, you're going to see insert. That's all. I can also insert another one. Now, let's say I want to add hourly rates for these members, and then let's see if we can get their gross pay. I want to show you why analysis using this table, functional table, is better than the usual analysis which we did in the previous class. Now, let's say the hourly rates. You can just add any rate, 34, 23. You know that these are all in dollars. You can format that as currency later. Okay, let's say this particular group of persons, they are all getting 34. That these particular members works. Now, how do we compute our gross pay? If you remember, it's still the same method, equal to, okay, so I'm just going to say, I can open a bracket if I like. So I'm going to multiply pay rates by hours. So that's I4 multiplied by J4. So I4 multiplied by J4. And I will enter. All right. So as you can see, this has been formatted. And because we are working from a table, if you do it for one, it's just automatically going to apply it for others. Okay. Now, sometimes you find out that when you carry out multiplications like this, it may give you multiple decimal places. Let me show how you can do that. Let's say I want to eliminate decimal numbers. I can highlight the entire range, come to this my home. In this section here where you have accounting, you can just come here. This is decrease decimal numbers. Can you see that? This is just approximating it. but because it's amount, let's say the decimals were made much, I cannot reduce it now to just 2 decimal numbers. Now, if you look down here, you see that this our sum filter has been able to compute. For this case, we used average. For these hours, we can get the sum, and for this net pay, we can, gross pay, we can also use sum. How do we apply that? Remember, we did that by simply coming to data, click on data, and then design. Now on design rather, you are going to see this row total. Now let me deactivate it. You find out that it is gone. So let me activate the row total so you see what it does. Now in this row total, it creates a kind of filter buttons where you can decide what exactly kind of total you're looking for. Is it average? Is it minimum, maximum, sum, standard deviation, variance? So for this particular hourly rate, I'm going to use the average hourly rate. Then for the hours, I am using sum, and also for the gross pay, I am using sum. So by doing this, we've been able to convert this data into a functional table here in Microsoft Excel, and we've been able to also make additional computations for gross pay. Remember, you can actually decide to look at this data. Let's say I want to look at only people in Department of Accounting. Okay, so I'm going to deselect all here, select only accounting, and okay. Now this is going to filter into accounting. Observe what has happened for the total. It's also going to be computing total for just this particular category that you're looking at. Now let's say this is just my first analysis I wanted to get. So I am going to copy it to a new sheet. As you can see, this has been other analysis I've done. This one is for accounting and human resource. I just sorted accounting and human resource. And in this other place here, I sorted just top 10. That is top 10 in the entire data. And then this one now I'm going to be adding. This is just for accounting alone, okay? So depending on what analysis the client or the instruction that came with the data is saying, I'm going to adjust here. That will determine how you are going to be analyzing the data, all right? So that is it with this formatting as table. Now, the next thing we looked at is conditional formatting. Now, what is it used for? Let's say in a given data, you want to quickly just format or filter it according to a particular column. Instead of doing that filter where you have to now start separating data, I want to look at them collectively as a data set. What do I mean? You can use conditional formatting to find out insights from each particular column in a data set. Now, let's say I want to find out which data point performed higher than others. So firstly, I will highlight the entire data range I'm looking at, come back to my home, very close to format as table, which we used earlier, you see conditional formatting. Now, I want to just apply color. You can use color to separate your data, or you can see that green, yellow, red. So by applying this, now you find out that data points that performed highest are on green, and then followed by yellow, and then red. So you see the color mixture. The ones that are fainted green are the ones that are very close to yellow, okay? So the thicker the green color mean the bigger the listing price of this particular housing. Okay, away from that, we can also apply further conditional formatting. Let's look at these square feet. Maybe we're interested in square feet that are at least 2,500. So I'm going to highlight that. And now that we're using color, we can remain consistent. There are other conditional formats there. Now I am going to look at highlight cell rule. So I'm going to look at greater than. Okay. So greater than 2,500. So square foot that are greater than 2,500. And I still wanted to use green fill color. All right, can you see that now? Now it has been able to apply a conditional format to this column where only square feet that are greater than 2,500 are highlighted. Also, I can also apply more. Let's say in the bedroom, I'm looking at the ones with 3 bedrooms and more. So I can highlight this now. Since you can see that the maximum number of bedroom is 4, I can just come to my conditional formatting here and just tell it to give me between 3 and 4, yes. And I still want to use my green color to do that green fill. Okay. You can see that not all of them are highlighted. Only the ones with at least 2 bedrooms, okay, are highlighted there. Now, what about the bathroom? Let's say I'm looking at the ones with exactly 3 bathrooms. I'm looking for houses with 3 bathrooms. I'll just highlight it all. Come back to my conditional formatting here. And yeah, so equal to 3. I'll just use 3 here. And then still use my color as green. Okay, so we've been able to apply conditional formatting to different columns. Now, let's see if we have any column which is having all as green. Let's investigate carefully. Now look at this column. This row here has all as green. It means the listing price is high. The square foot is above 2,500. It has at least 3 bedrooms, and of course, it has 3 toilets. So you see, you can be able to just fish out some particular categories now using this conditional formatting. Remember, this is still a table. You can still apply your sort and filter if you like. Okay, there. Okay, yeah, you can just maybe filter by a particular town. Let's say you're looking at only the words are meaningless. And okay, so that happens. But even while you filter that, the conditional formatting that you have applied still remains intact. Okay, so this will now help someone who wants to, let's say, want to buy a house in, and your interest is just in these 2 particular cities. Now, if you look at this place, see that this house right here, I'm looking at one with low rates but good square foot. Okay, so this house here, the price is lower as compared to others, and it has 3 bedrooms and of course 2 toilets. So if this is what the person wants, the person can ask, okay, I'm interested in this particular house. You can now use the house ID to get it all done. So this is how to apply conditional formatting. Away from that, there are further conditional. Let's say you want to remove a particular conditional format you have applied. I can highlight the data and come back to conditional formats, manage rules. You're going to see all the conditional formats you have applied to that data. So you can even add new rules. Or just like I want to do now, you can delete the rules, okay? Just delete them all and okay. So there is another conditional format I wanted to show you. If you highlight this data, mind you, I've applied a filter, which I am going to, yes, please. I want to see all data points. Or you can just clear filter to remove that filter. So there are other conditional formats there, which I'm going to let you explore with time. Like look at this one. Let's say I want to apply this conditional format where I have data bars. This one is usually used when illustrating very big data. If you remember during COVID-19, this was usually how state data was represented. So you can see data, states with higher rates and the ones with lower rates just by looking at it. Can you see that now? So this is also another application of conditional formatting. So you go ahead and just find out more about conditional formatting by exploring each of these options will have highlight cell, top 10. Yes, we can even find our top 10. Yeah, I like that also. Just highlight top 10. Okay, I'll select that, come back here, and top 10. Yes, top 10 items. Put a green color and okay. Okay, I think he did that, but because the previous formatting is there, so I'm going to now go to um, manage rules. I'm going to delete the first one, which is the bar. I'll delete it so that this second one applied can show. You can see. So anyone highlighted here now is among the top 10 listing prices. And that is also another use of conditional formatting. So I'm going to leave you with this data and I'll give you some instructions which you're going to use to apply this conditional formatting. So in this second class, we've been able to see how to convert data that has been entered into Excel into a table and how to use sort and filter buttons and also how to carry out conditional formatting. If you find this video interesting, leave a comment, like, and share, and I will see you in the next class. Thank you.